what are you on about, lad? Who's after me? Him? Why is he after me? Lad, because you did this. So, well, what, lad? What you do that for? Lad, because I'll do what I want. Lad, I know, but here's the problem, lad. You're dragging all in there. Oh, listen, lad, who's asked anyway? Are you coming out tonight? No, why? Because they're after me. Are you going out? Yeah. Oh, my God, lad. He's going to me. Well, listen, lad. What's going to happen if he does it? I'm like, listen, lad, I don't know, because these were all heavy. These were like proper heavy kids at the time. And like, we were only finding our feet, you know what I mean? So I had a bit of dough around me and all that. So I guess this car, right, in this car, it was like, I bought it second hand, right, but it was bulletproof. It was like a bulletproof BM. Now, if you listen to this now and you know what I'm on about, it's all fictional. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm thinking I'm proper on one right now. The car was a bit old and all that, but it was still bulletproof, right? So flying round, flying round, flying round. Now, it was a Saturday night and I had all tablets, I had all lemon. I was like, when you're young and you're not asked about now. So I'm going from this gaff to this gaff to this gaff, and everyone's like, lad, what have you done to them? And I'm like, how's it? These all know about it. Now, these people who are saying to me, they're like, these are like all lads in town and that, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, lad, he's been asking about it. I'm like, has he? Yeah. I said, what doors he working on? He's like, such and such. He said, is he? Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to like confront the situation. I'm not going to front him because he's absolutely punched me face in, but I'm going to confront the situation because you know, I can't start like bouncing around thinking I'm dead. No, like, I don't think I'm no one. You know yourself, right? It's all fictional, I swear, it's all fictional. But, you know, I'm in a bulletproof car. What are you going to do if the windows are closed? No, lads. So I thought, all right, I'll go and sort this out. As I'm like flying around, like getting my shit together, I'm having a stripe in the car, it's like, like powering myself up and all that. And this bear phone, she's like, what's that? And I'm like, what's that? She's like, where are you? I said, blah, 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 blah. She said, come and grab me. I said, what for? She's like, oh, all my mates have let me know, like that old chestnut. I'm like, go ahead, son. So flies, does a detour, grabs her, gets in the car. She's like, where are we going? I said, where do you want to go? She's like, come to mine. She had this gaff, right? And it was like Wavertree. It was like this boozer and Wavertree, right? So I'm like, all right, son. She's like, come and have a bevy and this, that. Her uncle owns it or something like that. So I'm like, all right, son. So that's where we're going, right? But on the way from town, I thought, you know what? I'll do a little detour and I'll go and see this door fella, right? Because this door fella, like, he was every kid. Now, I know I'm not going to start naming names and that, but he was heavy, but he wasn't like another level heavy because I can't really it went off. Listen, yeah, if you know Liverpool and you know all the people from Liverpool, you know the people who are in the underworld of Liverpool and that, you'll know that like there was a serious situation, right? There was a serious situation where let's just say booms were involved, right? It was years ago. Booms were involved, right? Now the kids who like set the booms up and that, they were a different firm, but we were on them. They were from not far from where we're from. Do you know what I mean? They were like, no, not me mates, not like that. I'm not gonna say I'm associated, but they were all right. They were all right. So because they did that to them, like it sort of half lowered the tone of who they were because they never done nothing back, right? And about this is like 2 weeks before I was going on my way to this gaff, right? I was talking to some door fella in this club, right? And I said to him, how have you just let him do that to you? And he went, do you know what, lads, here's the problem, right? No one will do nothing to him, lads. And I said, why? Because like, I'm not saying the mingies, I'm not saying that at all, but if someone starts doing what they did to them, do you know what I mean? You're all in, aren't you? And the fact they weren't all in means they were paranoid, doesn't it? So if they're paranoid of that, yeah, and then you know, like I say, I'm no one all that, and these kids were heavy, and you know they had proper connections, and you know they're not shy about putting people in night, but just because they're not, it doesn't mean no one else isn't either. Do you get me? So I was like just off me barn, and I was talking to this kid. I'm gonna start jumping from bit to bit because you know I'm half slurring my words and all that, but it is what it is. It's like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. So what's happened is I've ended up like finding where this kid was, and this kid who was meant to be this like big top fucking head and all that, he's parcelled off this firm. Now the firm he's parcelled off, I wouldn't have parcelled off them. I'm not trying to say anything, but I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have, especially if they did what they did, right? They fucking give it to one, they proper give it to one of their mates, you know, and not come back on it. So like I said, I was in this club and I was talking to one of these doormen and they were like, yeah. I said, how's he just like doing that to you? He's like, oh, no one's not doing like I said. So I'm thinking, right, so I've remembered that right now. This other kid, right, who's just absolutely parcelled proper cars off this firm, it's like telling people he's looking for me. Lad, you're looking for me. You don't need to look for me. So I've got this bird in the car. Now remember, I'm in this bulletproof BM, right? Whether it was bulletproof, I don't even know, but that's just what I got black, but it looked like it was. It had like extra layers on the doors. So as far as I'm concerned, it is. But you know, it was at least like unbreakable. The windows weren't breakable, and I fucking found out the hard way this. So crawls up, and my mates have gone out and they're like, lad. I'm like, where's he? So rolls up into this bar. Right now, this bar, it wasn't in town, it was on like the outskirts of town, yeah. So I rolled up, and where it was on like a main road, but you could park up next to it. So as I parked up next to it, the door lads are just looking over like that. So I put the window down and went, where's that fat cunt? And one was being like, are you fucking messing lad? I said, do I look like I'm fucking messing lad? This bear's just absolutely carried in the passenger seat. Like, what? I said, it sounds bulletproof. So this big fat divvy, you said, right, has just come flying over, just like, what are you cheeky, yeah. So I put the window up, right, and locked the doors, and he's just punching the window, and I'm like, it's right, lads, bulletproof, you fat mingy. He was winded, and I mean, proper winded. He's like, get out the car. I'm thinking, if I get out the car, I'm just going to get fucking et apart. You can see the size of him, right? So I'm just laughing, I'm like, you little divvy, He's going, what's what happens? I'm like, why, what's going to happen, lads? I can only have fucking mingy, lad. And he's going, what's what happens, lad? So he pulls a blade out, the little rat, and he goes to slash me tires, so I just span off like, fuck off, baba. So I've got off and talked, I'm not having that. So the bird's going to me, lads, what the fuck? I'm like, listen, just shut up. I said, if you want me to drop it off, I'll drop it off, but nah, I'm not having like that. So she's like, you're nuts, I'm like, listen, I'm not. I'm like, you know, it's over something serious, you know, like, so I'm thinking, you know what, these are there till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's only about fucking, 12 o'clock, so I've got a couple of hours, so I thought, you know what, let's just see what I do now. So it gets off, so goes to this bed, right, so I'm sitting in this bed, I'm trying to shake it off, but I can't shake it off, so I'm having a little bevy, my little stripe and all this, and she's like, oh yeah, and in the end I'm just thinking, do you know what, so I phone my mate in town, I'm like, listen lad, this just happened, that's nothing, you up for it? And he's like, what are we going to do? I said, lad, whatever. He's like, yeah, come and get us then. I'm like, go on, so I said to this bed, listen, stay here, I'll be back in a bit, yeah. Oh my God, is this? So flies, grabs your mates and all that, so like, yeah, come tomorrow, I've got a thing in mind. I'm like, come here, come get it. Goes in there, he's going, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know, just let a few off. And he's going, lad, if we let a few off at them, it's Devo coming back. I'm like, where's he coming back to, lad? He's like, what? I'm like, where's he coming back to? I said, there's no not in a barmy, lads. He's like, what? I said, lad, he knows not in a barmy. I said, he knows where he could get me, but if he comes to where he could get me, then I don't even need to be there. He'll absolutely get it, and I mean proper get it. And I'm like, yeah, so what are you going to do? I said, I'm not going to do him, lad. I said, but I'm just going to let a few off and just like watch them scatter. Listen, it's like, now, if you're on Liverpool back in the day, you probably heard this story. Now, this story's all fictional. It wasn't me, nothing to do with me. I swear to God, it weren't nothing to do with me. And if, like, the Dormans listen to this now, you little fat mingy, get on this then. So it comes back, right? So we've got this thing, right? And it's got about 3 things in it, right? Because the kid, it had to be tampered with, because the sweets that went in it, we only had a few of them, but there was other sweets that could have went in it, but they had to have like modifications for it, you know what I mean? And no one's sitting there just doing all shit like that, you know what I mean? Like in the middle of the night off your barney. So I've been like, yeah, giz it. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, what lad? I said, I'll do it. So he's like, go on. So he said, what are you going to do? I said, lad, I'll just park up now, and I'll just run the door, and I'll just let off. I said, but as soon as the 3 have gone, I am proper taking chase, because if they get me, I said, he had a blade on him before. He's like, did he get that little rat? I'm like, yeah, and I was like, lad, he's a rat, lad. So my mate's going to me, all right, sounds. He went, yeah, come and get him. I said, he was like, soft, lad. I said, nah. I said, he's just like, he's over the top. He's like, lad, come and get soft, lad. I said, where is he? He went, lad, last time I spoke to him, he was in his with his bird, like, just fucking eating kebabs. I said, yeah. So he flies down, he goes, he gets me, mate. My mate's called soft, lad. Not because he's soft, but because he's soft. I don't mean soft like stupid. I mean like soft like he'll just do anything for like the smallest of things, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like just something silly, like bump into him, he'll just ball you. He's just one of them kids, you know what I mean? So I ended up going to this and all that, so I'm phoning him, and his phone's on, knocks at his door. He's like, what's that, lad? I said, what's that? I said, do you want to get with me? He's like, what's up? I said, I told him and all that. He went, yeah. He said, come out, chance. I said, yeah, I'll be back now. Now, what he's got, I didn't realise that he's got a thing himself, but his thing's fully loaded and ready to roll. Listen to this. So he goes back down, he's going, what are you going to do? I'm just going to let off at them. He's going, well, why don't you just do him, lad? I'm like, nah. I said, it's not really worth doing him, because he's going, lad, I'll do him. I'm like, nah, you won't. He's going, listen, lad. He said, listen to me, lad, I'm starving, I've had half my scan, and you know, we'll just get back, I'll just do him now, and we'll go back and get a scan. You know, like, proper callous, just like one of them kids who's just like, you just don't want him, you don't even want to bump into him or speak to him in life. He's just a fucking demon in your life, do you know what I mean? So he's like, all right, son. So I'm like, come on, let's go. So I've got this thing, right? And the thing I had there, it was a sound little thing, like if it gets you, you know, you're feeling it. So jumps out like that, walks down, so park the car up like that, walked down, I was being like, bam, 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 and you should have seen them scatter. But after he scattered, my mate jumped out and ran over and followed it up, do you know what I mean? So he followed it up, and he must have let about, no shit, he must have let about 7, 8 off, right? And I'm like, lad, every gaffer's just gone white. They've scattered, all the people outside have scattered, right? And I'm like, lad, go, go, go. So we're in this like fucking meant to be bulletproof car, right? And oh my God, we get down, he goes up, he goes on the main road right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you where it was, but I'm going to tell you like where the chase happened, right? So where the chase happened was on East Prescott Road, right? So we're by, you know where the Swan is, we're going down towards, so you know that now we weren't going towards there, or we got no ties with them, or no, like we know a few lads, but we no ties with them. We get down and we ends up fucking taking chase like this. Chaser comes right, we are just like ba 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 off our barn. We've got 2 pieces in the car, they're empty, but we've just got them, we've just let off everywhere, right? And I'm like, lad, but the car, I hadn't changed the name of the car from the person who had before me, right? Because it was like one of them, like, lad, I can't buy this car legit. He's like, I'm not asked, lad, I haven't even got the car legit, it's still someone else's name. So this car's fucking meant to be bulletproof, right? And I swear we just took proper chase. So we ended up by the Mackies, ends up on Prinny Drive, we're just flying down Prinny Drive. And I'm like, lad, the chopper, he's calling to me, lad, don't worry about it. And my mate's just sitting in the back, he's calling to me, lad, I'm fucking starving. I'm like, how's that like, what are you thinking of now? He's going to me, lad, could have been like half eating me. I'm like, we need to decamp, lad, we need to decamp. So he's like, go ahead, get a crocky. I'm like, crocky? He's like, get a crocky. So we knew this gap by crocky, right, where there's bollards and all that. And the chopper wasn't out yet. And there was only one busy car chasing us right now. I don't even know whether it was like an army response or it was just a normal busy, but it was like, no one was on us, we weren't like, you know what I mean, we were bang on, but we weren't bang on. Now, was we bang on for letting off, or was we just bang on for being in the car? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but nothing ever come back on it, so let's just like go down that part, do you know what I mean? So we jumps out in Crockett, and we're just fucking running, bam, 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 we gets by these bollards, gets off and all. Now, we had gloves on anyway, obviously, because we was in to wipe the cars out, so we're all just flying, right? Now, we've ended up on foot. And I've got a big bag of them. I'm like, lad, do you want to stay? He's like, yeah. So we're sitting there, he's like, lad, we need to split up. I'm like, go ahead. I said, where are you going to go? He's like, I'm going to go back to man. I'm like, where are you going? He calls me, lad, where do you want me to go? Where, you fucking caused all this, lad, cause of what? And I was like, oh, lad, shut your mouth, lad. So we ended up in like, it used to be like a school or a nursery, but it was like, it ends up being a park. I think it got Flatlands or whatever. So I'm sitting in there. My other mate's over the road, and my other mate's like over the road, but we can see each other. We really thought we were disguised. Like, so fast walk past, I'm like, hey, he's like, what's it, his light? He's like, laughing. So we ended up getting off. So I said, yeah, we'll just have to pretend we're going for a jog. I said, what have you got under them? He's like, I've got bills on. I'm like, I've got shorts on. What have you got? He's like, I've got bills on. I'm like, listen, we're going to have to go for a jog. He's like, you fucking mess. So I've got shorts on, so I'm sad. These have got bills on. And we're all just pretending to go on a 3-man jog. Literally, we walked, we goes right up, we're flying right up. Oh, mate, it was the shittest, weirdest escape you've ever had in your life, right? And we left the car there. Now, the car got proper decamped and all that. So we get off, we ended up getting home, and it took us about an hour to get home and all that. So we've gone back, and as we've gone back, I go to this bed, get taxi this bed. Sitting there and all that. Dave got off, so they're on the phone like, lad. I said, what? He said, what's happening with the car? I said, we're going to get it back tomorrow, yeah. Went back the next day, the car was gone, being proper sucked by plough. Nothing ever come back on it. And as for the fella, right, there's about, nothing happened for that, but about 5 years later, right? Now, 5 years later, we're a different breed than we was 5 years earlier, do you know what I mean? And a couple of my mates are like, the proper heavy now and all that. So we walked up to this club, right, there's this, the little fat divvy, right? He knew exactly who it was. So he walks to this club to get in, and one of my mates, he used to be a doorman, right, but he got sacked because he was just fucking chaos. So the lad who that was is now a little bit older, but he was all like half old anyway, do you know what I mean? So as he walks in the door, he's looking at me. I went, what's happening, lad? But he's like not on the juice no more. He's a little skinny ming, and he calls me, all right, mate, all right, buddy. I'm like, and I'm thinking, should just let him know. So I said to me, mate, what do you reckon, lad? Should tell him? He's like, nah. I said, it's only even started, like, there's about fucking 8 of them on the door. I said, so as we walked in, he went to me, not tonight, lads. I said, what do you mean, not tonight, lads? He's going, you're probably all nice lads and that. He said, he can come in. And my mate's going to him, listen, lad, I'm coming in anyway, I've got and he was, do you know what, you know, when you like look at people like that, and you just think, do you know what, you know, if I was a rat lad, and I held on to grudge and all that, I'd absolutely do you now, because see all these doormen from back in the day, right? Yeah, they might have connections, I'm not saying they haven't, but them personally, they're all little fat divvies, yeah? So, you know, when you were younger, yeah, and you're punching people's heads in at 18, yeah, you know, if we see you, lad, you know, if you're seeing, you know what I mean, you'll fucking get it, right? And that's what they forget, because they think that, all juiced up and all on the lemon, we'll just slap this kid and we'll do this, do that. You don't think of the future, yeah? And you know what, there's about 3 of them now. If I ever see them, it's fucking on site, mate. It's on site, and I don't give a fuck who's there, what's happening, whether you're with, right? It's on site, and you've got to be careful. The moral of the story is, right, if they see you, they're going to fucking do you, mate, because you're a has-been, yeah? And even that gap's a bit snide to say it, but let's talk about, remember when we were 17 and all that? Now, no disrespect to that all for them, because I'm on them, and I'm not talking about them personally, I'm just using it for an instance, because I'm on all them anyway, right? Now, when you talk about that, and you talk about the age gap from that, some of them done were like 45, big proper fella juiceheads who've been on the juice for fucking 30 years, do you know what I mean? And they're smacking kids up. I don't mean them personally. So if there's this now and you used to work on that all, I'm on you on me, so just jib all right. I'm just talking like hypothetically, yeah. If you're 45 and you're smacking an 18-year-old kid up, yeah, what do you think's gonna happen when you're 65 and you bump into that kid? Yeah, you're fucking getting it. That's what's gonna happen, right? So that's where I'm going with it, and that's the moral of the story, right? So, you know, it's just one of them things, innit? But you've got to be careful, mate. You've got to be careful, and you know what? If you're letting off blindly, do it where you don't get chased.